Hey guys, it's me, Jack here, coming at you with a look at a game called Kerbal Space Program. This is a game that I've been playing for quite a while now, and I've really enjoyed it. I think this means, but probably you guys will too. The key idea of this game revolves around interplanetary travel in a made-up solar system. You are the mission control, and you have to pilot your astronauts, or in this case your Kerbinauts, to distant planets and asteroids. So let's get started. Let's click Start Game, and clearly start a new one. Why don't we call it YouTube Series? Oh, YouTube Series. Not very original, but doesn't really matter. Click Start, and here we are. This is the main overview of the Space Center, and you can see the 4 different buildings. There is the Vehicle Assembly Building, where you can build your rockets, the Spaceplane Hangar, funnily enough, where you can build your space planes, the Tracking Station, where you can monitor flights that are in progress, and the Launch Pad, where you can launch your Kerbinauts into the depths of space. But we'll save most of that for later episodes. We'll start out with the most basic rocket possible. We will select the Command Pod, Mark 1, here it is, in all its glory, and we will then select the FLT-400 fuel tank, which I believe is one of the smallest fuel tanks currently in-game, so it's not bad. We will bring this up a bit, and here you can see the game revolves around creating your rocket in the hangar before launching it. We will then select the LVT-30 liquid fuel engine, and finally the Mark 16 parachute to make sure that we get our Kerbinaut back safely. In fact, why don't we put some landing legs on it? Because I want to make sure that we get Mr. Kerbinaut back safely. In fact, why don't we move that down a little bit to there? And there we go. We have now got the spacecraft. Why don't we name it Doomed from the Start. There we go. That's the rocket. Nothing to marvel at, of course, but I'm sure it'll get the job done. So now we will click the launch button and head on over to the launch pad, and this is of course where all of your flights will take place. So right now I'm just going to make sure I've got all my staging set up correctly, which is something that I will go on to more in depth in a later episode. But for now I'm just going to test out how far down these landing legs go. Okie dokie, just about right for me. Raise them again, power up the rocket, and countdown please. 3, 2, 1, ignition. And there we go. Look at this baby go. Obviously, I'm not hoping for any sort of orbital flight here. You can see the fuel in the top right corner running out extremely quickly. But this thing goes, well, I guess you could say this thing goes like a rocket. Well, until the fuel runs out anyway. Oh, don't want to make this rocket tip over, considering that I haven't added any sort of orbital targeting system, which means that the rocket does tend to have a little bit of a wobble in flight. And as the last of the fuel runs out, you can see that momentum does exist in-game, and as you can see we are continuing to move upwards even though the propulsion has run out. And now you can see the surface speed slowly decreasing. 100 meters per second, 90, 80, 70, 60 will deploy the landing legs. Obviously, at 14,000 meters, if you start approaching the ground too quickly, things aren't going to go too well. So we're just going to roll the rocket back the right way around with our control keys here. Set it up in a nice position. And when we get to around 10,000 meters, I will deploy the parachute, which will begin to slow us down. The parachute does not deploy fully until around 500 meters, but it starts to slow us down as soon as you deploy it. So why don't we just wait a second here? 11,000, 10,000, and we will deploy it right about now. There we go. Parachute has been deployed, and it is holding us at a steady speed, and now we've started to decrease a bit. So you can see that although the rocket engine extends further than the legs, I found in practice that the rocket engine tends to get destroyed during impact, as one parachute isn't really enough for a rocket of this size, but I wanted to make it I wanted to show you guys how simple it is to get going in this game. So now we're approaching 4,000 meters, pretty much coming down exactly on the launch pad. Not quite. We seem to have moved a little bit, but that's not to matter. 2,500 meters here. We're really getting close. 1,900 meters, and you can see the surface speed is decreasing as this is producing drag. As we approach the 500 meter mark, you will see this parachute expand into much bigger. So there you go, parachute expanded, and you can see the speed dropped to a 10.6 meters per second. I'll just speed it up slightly as we come down, otherwise we'll have to wait quite a while for this craft to approach the surface. So here we go. How far down have we got? 200 meters to go. And as you can see, this game really is a very nice looking game. There's a lighting engine, it's got shadows, it's got all sorts, it's got a nice physics engine as well, which is quite good. When you come down to land, you'll see that I'm gonna, unfortunately, break the engine, but that's not to matter, because Jebediah Kerbin, you can see down here, has landed fine from his suborbital flight there. Why don't we send him out on a little bit of an EVA? Oh, that didn't go too well for you, Mr. Jebediah, now did it? But anyway, he can walk about, jump, do all sorts of things a normal person could. He's going to have some difficulty getting back into his rocket now, but that's not to matter. There we go. That was our first successful flight in Kerbal Space Program. And to be honest, that's all I'm going to talk about today. I'll see you all, guys. Oh, did I really just mark that up? I'll see you guys all in the next episode. Thank you very much for watching. My name has been Jack. Please like, comment, rate, and subscribe, and I'll see you all next time. Bye.